We'll begin by settling our bodies and stabilizing the mind before we begin the loving kindness practice. So first we briefly go through the posture, relaxing our legs in a comfortable position, which is also balanced, keeping our bodies balanced and stable, yet relaxed. So whether that means a regular crisscross position or a half lotus position, right foot on top of the left, or a full lotus position, whatever you feel most balanced in. And remembering to be sitting on the edge of your cushion so that your knees are falling below the hips, which prevents the legs from falling asleep. So that can mean sitting on the edge of your cushion or the edge of your chair, wherever your knees are below the hips. And then we move to the back, the spine, the most important part of the posture, which we try to keep as straight as possible, almost like a stack of bricks, one on top of the other, running up through our neck, straightening our neck, and running up through the crown of our head. You can even imagine a string pulling you up very gently and naturally straightening your back and relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the muscles around the back, and opening the chest a little into a posture of stability, confidence, yet relaxation. Roshi Joan Halifax describes this posture as having a soft front, yet a strong back. And that's how we want to approach our meditation practice, with a soft approach, a kind gentleness, yet also very firm and dedicated. Unwavering. Your hands can be resting in your lap or on your knees. Neck tilted slightly downwards, relaxed. Eyes can be cracked open to let some light in and stay alert. Or they can be shut as well if there's too many distractions around you. Just do a quick body scan to make sure your body is relaxed. Nothing is tense. Yet you're in a position of stability where you feel like you can sit for a longer period of time. You can breathe gently into each part of your body that feels tense. And feel free to put a little smile on your face to naturally relax all those facial muscles that hold so much tension anytime we think. And as we relax and settle our bodies, we can also cultivate our motivation for the practice. Thinking about our precious Guru's recent passing, Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Some of us may even be sitting in Kopan right now or in and around Kathmandu, maybe very close to Rinpoche's body. And others of us are practicing, maybe doing Tara pujas, watching videos, attending sessions, Kabirji sessions. But it's said that the most important thing to do after a guru passes is to practice their teachings. And Rinpoche's main practice, main emphasis in his teachings was always Bodhicitta and emptiness. Both those go hand in hand. But first and foremost, Bodhicitta. Which is the mind of awakening, the mind that desires to benefit beings out of the Buddha nature of the mind, the pure nature of the mind. And so in Kabirji's sessions still now, and the teachings of the Four Immeasurables, we've been looking at investigating the Four Immeasurables in the context of cultivating Bodhicitta, especially loving kindness and compassion, which will be our guided meditations today and tomorrow. So as part of our motivation, I'm going to read a short excerpt from Lama Zopa Rinpoche. That Bodhicitta is to become like the rising sun, illuminating all. In this way, you achieve happiness now, every day, every hour, every minute. By continuing to live your life like this, you go from happiness to happiness. And at the end of your life, you will have no regrets, not even the slightest fear of dying. Only incredible enjoyment and happiness. So take a moment to let these words rest on the mind stream and use them to think of your own motivation. Why are you here today? Why do we want to practice loving kindness, even shamatha, stabilization of the mind? What is your motivation to practice, to follow the teachings of the Buddha? Is it just for our own mental well-being, our own temporary satisfaction, a moment of quiet from all the noise? Or are we also considering the end goal being not just our own enlightenment or our own peace, but also wanting that peace in order to benefit others, in order to bring others that peace also? What's the point of just my own happiness if I can't take those I love with me? If everybody I love is still left in samsara, in the cycle of birth and death and birth and death. So take a moment to contemplate Rinpoche's words and really think of your own motivation from deep down in your heart. And now with this motivation, holding it in our hearts, we gently move to our practice of stabilizing the mind. We do this so that it gives us a stable foundation in order to go much deeper into our insight practice later, our contemplation practice, vipassana. Without stabilizing the mind first, we can't go as deep into that kind of contemplation of loving kindness that we will do later. So first we stabilize our mind by using single-pointed meditation, resting our attention in one place rather than the usual trying to multitask and do 20 different things at once, which is how our mind is usually occupied. We are trying to let go of everything else by simply resting our attention in one place and letting everything else fall away on its own. And so we're taking the breath as our object. You can choose to rest your attention either on your abdomen as it rises and falls with the breath, or if you wish for a slightly more subtle object, you can rest your attention at the very tip of your nostrils and observe these sensations the breath forms there. Make sure not to clamp down too hard onto this object of our attention. There's no need to force our attention there or chain it like a prisoner, but rather we're just watching it like a observer almost. Like an old woman who's sitting at the park and watching the kids play. Not engaged in any way, trying to engage with those children, but just watching them quietly and patiently. So like that, rest your attention on your breath. If the mind wanders away from the object, there's no need to get agitated or frustrated with oneself. Or rather, we can treat our minds with compassion because our minds are definitely in monkey mind stage after all. And we can see it like a little child who keeps running away from us, and we are the parent who must call them back patiently and compassionately. So when you notice your mind has wandered off from the object, even if it's after a minute or 5 minutes or longer, simply return your mind back to the object and allow those other thoughts to dissolve on their own. There's actually no need to push them away because by nature of resting our attention in one place, everything else naturally falls away. And that is the practice of shamatha, is remembering the object again and again. So be gentle and relaxed in your practice and continue this practice on your own for the next 10 to 12 minutes before we move into our loving kindness practice. remembering to relax the mind. And there's a saying you can use each time your mind gets distracted from the breath. Release, relax, return. So release your attachment to that thought or that memory, let it go. Relax the mind, relax your body, relax your face even. That might have gotten tense. And then return gently back to the object, back to the breath. So we will be moving into our loving kindness practice. You can stay with the breath for another minute if you wish, or if you feel like you need to just stretch your body a little bit before we begin the loving kindness practice, you may do so. Just try not to get too distracted or look at your phone. But feel free to stretch a little bit and readjust yourself. Get comfortable again in your posture. And I will be starting with a short excerpt from Lama Zopa Rinpoche on loving kindness, on why we practice this. When we cherish ourselves, think only of ourselves. How can I be happy? How can I be free of problems? Then there is no happiness in our heart, only fear and worry. We see only problems and our mind is not relaxed. But in the next moment, when we change our object of concern to another sentient being, even if it's only one sentient being, suddenly our heart is released from self-cherishing, like limbs released from chains. Just contemplate those words for a moment. As soon as our object of concern changes from ourself to someone else, our heart is released from the bondage of self-cherishing thought, like limbs released from chains. As soon as we change the object of our self-cherishing, there is suddenly peace in the very depths of our heart. At the very moment our mind changes from self-cherishing to cherishing others, there is liberation, freedom from the tight bondage of selfishness. What is called I is the object to be abandoned forever. What is called others, even just one sentient being, is the object to be cherished forever. This is why living our life for others, dedicating our life to even just one sentient being, gives us the greatest enjoyment and the most interesting life. Real happiness in life starts when we cherish others, living our life for others, cherishing them with loving kindness and compassion is the door to happiness, the door to enlightenment. Nothing is more interesting, enjoyable, or meaningful than the thought of Bodhicitta, or cherishing others. So Rinpoche here is really describing the importance of loving kindness practice, of wishing others happiness, cherishing others. And he describes loving kindness as devoting your life to achieving happiness for others. So just to reinvigorate our motivation before we begin the practice, I'll read one more line about the loving kindness practice from Rinpoche, of course. The more you practice loving kindness, the greater the peace and happiness in your heart. When you sincerely practice kindness to others, even if you don't expect it, naturally the result is that they are kind to you, are happy with you, and listen to you. Devoting your life to achieving happiness for others is also the best way to achieve your own happiness. Let's just sit with those words and thoughts for a minute. So now with this renewed desire and intention to practice loving kindness and to practice bodhicitta, let's begin first and foremost with loving kindness towards ourselves, who is also a sentient being. We are also one of sentient beings, and we also deserve as much loving kindness as we wish to give to others, and sometimes we do give to others far more than ourselves. We can only fill others' cups if we ourselves are full. We are empty, we have nothing to offer. So to begin the practice, first, rest your attention within yourself, within your heart, and consider what you want in life. What do you desire in life? Maybe certain comforts, love, either familial, romantic, social, to be cared for, warm clothes in the winter, a bed to sleep on, a roof over our heads. And recognizing that those things are things that we desire and that everybody desires. It's okay to want those things and wish those things for ourselves. And so we repeat the words, may I be happy. May I be at ease and live with peace and kindness. May I experience joy. May I be safe and healthy. Really taking a moment to wish these things for yourself, because this is the foundation of the rest of our practice. You can even ground your practice with your breath by breathing in white light and letting it flood your body from your toes through your head, Breathing in this white light of loving kindness to yourself. And now moving towards others around us. We start with somebody very simple and easy to feel loving kindness towards, to wish them happiness. Family, friends, pick one person with whom there's not a complicated relationship. You just wish them pure happiness and joy. You wish them well, only good things in life. And visualize that person right in front of you, sitting across from you. And from that full place in yourself, that place full of white light now, recognizing that that white light is infinite within you. It is coming from the Buddha nature, and it cannot be depleted, even if you offer it to somebody else. As the Dalai Lama says, lighting another candle does not diminish the light of the first candle. And wish that person all the joys and well wishes of the world, whatever they desire in life, whether it's material, spiritual. Really wish them from the bottom of your heart. May you be well and happy. May you be safe and healthy. May you live with ease. May you experience joy. And also adding a last line, may I aid in providing you that joy. May I also be able to help you in that. Use Rinpoche's two phrases that you can use to repeat. How wonderful it would be if you had happiness and the causes of happiness. I myself will give you happiness and its causes. Now letting that person dissolve from your mind's eye, and now bring to mind somebody whom you don't know at all. You just know maybe by face or by name, but you've hardly had any interaction with them. Maybe you've never even spoken to them. Somebody you passed on the metro, somebody you saw today, passed by on the street. Maybe your auto driver. And bring them to mind in front of you, in that space across from you, sitting cross-legged. And considering that they also want the same joys and comforts that we want for ourselves and that we wished for that loved one. This random person off the street also wants the same things: safety, comfort, health, happiness. And now wishing them from that same place in our hearts, may you be happy and well. May you be safe and healthy. May you live with ease. May you experience joy. How wonderful it would be if you had happiness and the causes of happiness. I myself will give you happiness and the causes of happiness. And now letting that person also dissolve into the space of your mind and bringing to mind somebody who is a difficult person in our lives. And this part of the meditation may get difficult, and if it does, please feel free to just return to loving kindness towards yourself. If it feels too difficult to offer it to this person, completely fine. But think of somebody, if you feel able to, whom you have a difficult relationship with, and they may have hurt you in some way, or it may just be difficult to wish them well because they don't seem to deserve it. Bring that person to mind, sitting cross-legged in front of you, and consider how they also, just like me, just like that loved one, just like the stranger, also wishes to be happy. They also wish for the same desires in life, the comforts, the joys that I do. And maybe they're just trying to attain it in the wrong ways or in ways that actually hurt others unknowingly. As Rinpoche says, we are in our ignorance. We don't know how to really be happy. And now from that same infinite place within you, that infinite ball of white light. Wish this difficult person happiness. May you be happy and well. May you experience safety and health. May you have safety and health. May you experience joy. And finally, Rinpoche's lines. How wonderful it would be if you had happiness and the causes of happiness. I myself wish to give you happiness and its causes. We generate loving kindness by thinking that even though living beings want to be happy, they lack happiness because they're ignorant of its causes or lazy in creating them. And even if they achieve some sort of temporary happiness, for example, forcing their child to do something that they want them to do, or purchasing something expensive, a new car, a new house, but they will still lack the ultimate happiness of full enlightenment. Now imagine that all living beings receive everything they want, including all the realizations of the path to enlightenment. And you can bring back those three people we contemplated on, and now expand your mind towards all living beings, sentient beings, animals, humans, even beings in other universes. And really contemplate these lines from Rinpoche. Those who want a friend, find a friend. Those who want a guru, find a guru. Find a perfect guru. Those who want a job, find a job. Those who want a doctor, may you find a qualified doctor. Those who want medicine, may you find medicine. Those who are in prison, find freedom from prison. Those with incurable diseases, May you become the medicine that cures them. Since the main human problem is difficulty in finding the means of living, imagine that each human being is now showered with millions of dollars from your body, which is a wish-granting jewel. Every rupee note is a wish-granting jewel that multiplies. You can also imagine that the environment becomes a pure land, the pure land of Amitabha Buddha, or the Buddha of compassion. You grant all human beings everything they wish for, including a pure land with perfect enjoyments. All these enjoyments cause them only to generate the path to enlightenment within their mind, and they all become enlightened. Again, visualizing from that white ball of light at your heart center, expanding out across the planet to animals who need safety and protection from being killed, to humans, to people who are cruel, people who are kind, indiscriminately, including ourselves. And with that, we also dedicate to all sentient beings that may they be happy. May sentient beings be happy. Because out of ignorance, we only cause more suffering to ourselves, to others. So may we experience pure joy and happiness. Dedicating to our precious teachers and our gurus, to Lama Zopa Rinpoche, from whom a lot of the session was based, who really taught us loving kindness and Bodhicitta, what it means. And may we continue practicing this every day and every moment as much as we can. May all beings experience the causes of happiness. And may Rinpoche quickly return back to this earth in a beneficial form to benefit us beings and to help us along this path, to show us the way to Bodhicitta, the mind of awakening.